I don't think I have to prove to anybody here that life can be difficult and challenging. There is a wonderful Israeli TV series. Some of you may have seen it. It's called Shtisel. It's about a family that lives in Jerusalem. They happen to be a Haredi family, but the show is beautiful because it's about human beings and about the struggles that they go through. And the main character, Shalom Shtisel, has a wonderful sense of humor. And at one point, somebody came up to him and asked him, "How is your day going?" And his day was basically pretty bad, but there was one bright spot in his day. So he said, "You want to know how my day is going? It is drek mixed with charoset." And then the good part of his day actually ended up becoming bad as well. And so he said to the same person, "Now it's just drek with drek." However, recognizing that we can have those kinds of days and weeks and months and years, our tradition has always emphasized that we need to express gratitude, not just for the moments that we get out of that place to a better place, but to try to do it in the place where it happened, to try to go back to that place, perhaps literally or perhaps metaphorically, and to offer our thanksgiving from having gone from the difficult and dangerous place to the place of safety, the place of celebration. There is a beautiful tradition in the Mishnah. I'm going to read it to you. Haro'eh makom she'na'asu vo nisim leYisrael, omer baruch she'asa nisim la'avotenu b'makom hazeh. If you see a place where miracles were done for the people of Israel, you go to that place and you say, "Praised is the one who performed miracles for our ancestors in this space." And there is a commentator, Obadjami Bartanura, who gave an example. He said, "Kegon ma'abrot yam suf." An example of a place where miracles occurred is the crossing of the sea, which we read about this morning. You see that place and you give thanks. How often do we vacation in the Sinai Peninsula, exactly at the space where our ancestors crossed? Maybe not so often. But I want to talk to us this morning about what it can mean, mostly on a personal level, on an individual level, for us to give gratitude in the place where we succeeded, in the place where we faced a challenge and came out more whole on the other end. This is a hard thing to do. And I think it's hard for a few reasons. First of all, who wants to revisit a place that can be laden with trauma? It could be a place where we weren't well. It could be a place where we experienced a financial reversal. It could be a place where we were disappointed, where we were downtrodden, depressed. Fill in the blank. Who wants to revisit that place even if we got to a better place? And sometimes it's not so binary that we're finished with all of the challenges. As we know, many challenges remain. Many challenges have the possibility of erupting again even after we have left that difficult place. I have learned that even people who don't think of themselves as being very superstitious have a little bit of a fear of the evil eye, the ayin hara. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to give gratitude because the bad thing could happen again. The challenge can rear its head once again. And yet, there is value. There is value in seeing the space and giving thanks. I spoke recently about the difficult time that I had freshman year of college. Difficult for all sorts of reasons, lack of self-esteem, confusion, you name it. These were some of the things that I was feeling. And recently, I walked by the dorm where I lived in college freshman year, and I looked up and I counted 11 floors because I was on the 11th floor, and I said to myself, you know what? You got through. Your life isn't perfect. Those things haven't completely resolved, but you actually got through, and looking at the space and being able to name it gave me a certain strength. I think we all likely have such a place. It could be a dorm room. It could be the first home we lived in. It could be a cafeteria table where we experienced God only knows what. And if we can go back to these places and say to ourselves, we somehow got through, those are our ma'abrot yam. Those are our sea crossings. It's so important to do. First of all, it allows us to appreciate our victories. It allows us to be able to say we did okay with God's help, with the help of people who love us, with our own internal strength. However we understand that, it allows us to celebrate, and why take that away from us? Growth is growth, and it should be celebrated even if it doesn't lead to perfection. When does it ever lead to perfection? The second reason it's important is that it helps make us more human. My thinking back on what I was like on the 11th floor of that dorm helps me to relate, hopefully with a little bit more humanity, to the doubts and the struggles that other people have. Revisiting helps to strengthen us, and it also helps to open our hearts. And so, we understand that our ancestors revisited the crossing of the sea in the moment, and we revisit every single day. When we say Michamocha, before we say the Amidah, we revisit it during Shacharit, we revisit it during Mariv, during Arvit, morning and evening, we revisit that crossing. And I believe that we revisit the crossing because it is an opportunity for us to celebrate getting to a better place, and an opportunity to acknowledge the vulnerability that is part of us and part of every other human being. So I just want to ask everybody here to just think, what are my ma'abrot? Where is the space that I was when I found the strength, hopefully with support, to get from a place of danger to a place of more safety, to get from a place of struggle to a place of celebration? We should revisit those places literally or in our mind's eye. And then say what we want to say. Thank God for the miracle. Or thank God I'm surrounded by good people. Or thank God that despite it all, I managed to find the strength. I hope that these places, these ma'abrot yam, will remind us of our vulnerability and our strength. And may they also help us to give other people a little bit of a break. We will, God willing, be reminded of the miracles that are with us. And one of the greatest miracles of all is the strength that we carry up to and through the most challenging times of our lives. Shabbat Shalom.